This is Nova. Here is the signal. For thousands of years, money has been a profoundly stupid object, and that was its greatest strength. A coin doesn't know who you are. A banknote doesn't care what you buy. Cash has no memory, no opinion, and no conditions. You hand it over and it works every time for anyone, no questions asked. That dumb, blind neutrality is about to end. The money of the near future will not be dumb. It will carry instructions. And it will follow rules that you, the person holding it, did not write. Start with what's already true, because the foundation is laid. Most money today is already just numbers in a database. The cash in physical wallets is a shrinking sliver of the money that actually exists. The rest is digital entries in the computers of banks. But here's the key, those entries are still, for now, mostly dumb. $1 in your account behaves like a coin. It doesn't know it's rent money or grocery money or savings. It just sits there as a number, waiting for you to decide. The shift coming is not from paper to digital. We mostly did that already. The shift is from money that simply sits to money that can act. Here is the idea that changes everything, and engineers have a plain name for it. Programmable money. Imagine a unit of currency that carries its own rules, baked directly into the money itself. Money that can be told, you may only be spent on food. Money that says, you must be spent within 30 days or you vanish. Money that automatically splits itself, a slice to savings, a slice to tax, a slice to the landlord, the instant it arrives with no human in between. The rules don't live in a bank's policy or a government's law sitting on top of the money. The rules live inside the money. The dollar itself becomes a tiny program. And the power of that is genuinely staggering in both directions. On the bright side, picture aid sent to disaster victims that can only buy essentials, reaching people in seconds with no corrupt official able to skim it. Picture a business loan that can only be spent on the things it was approved for, releasing itself in stages as the work is verified, with no fraud possible because the money refuses to be misused. Picture taxes that calculate and pay themselves at the moment of each sale. A whole category of theft, delay, and paperwork could simply cease to exist. Not because we caught the cheaters, but because the money would no longer let itself be cheated. This is not a distant dream. Around the world, central banks, the institutions that issue national currencies, are building digital versions of their money. Many countries already have working systems or live pilots. At the same time, privately issued digital currencies tied to the dollar move billions every day across the internet, settling in seconds, carrying programmable logic right now. The technology to make money obey rules already exists and is already running. What's still being decided, and this is the part that matters, is who gets to write the rules and how far those rules are allowed to reach into your life. Because here is the shadow side of the same signal, and I will not soften it. Money that can be told you may only buy food can also be told you may not buy this. Money that can be made to expire can also be frozen, the instant someone with the right access decides you shouldn't have it. Money that knows what it's spent on is money that watches what you spend. The same feature that stops a thief from misusing aid can stop a citizen from buying a newspaper, a plane ticket, a moment of privacy. A coin could never judge you. Programmable money can. And whoever holds the keys to the rules holds a power over daily life that no king who ever minted a coin could have imagined. Sit with the deepest part of that. Cash is anonymous and final. When you pay with a bill, the transaction is over, complete, and no one needs to approve it. Programmable digital money can be designed to require permission to check in the instant of the purchase whether this spend by this person at this moment is allowed. That check might protect you from fraud. It might also become a gate. The difference between a tool that serves you and a leash that controls you is not in the technology at all. The technology is the same. The difference is entirely in who sets the rules, what they're allowed to set, and whether you can ever say no. And there's a quieter loss hiding underneath the loud debate. Dumb money gave us something we rarely name. The freedom that comes from not being asked. The freedom to give cash to someone in need without a record. To make a purchase no system logs and no algorithm flags. To simply pay and be done and be left alone. Smart money is more efficient, more honest, harder to steal, and it asks something in return. It asks to know. As money learns to follow rules, it also learns to remember. And a currency that remembers everything is a very different thing to live inside than a coin that forgot you the moment it left your hand. So here is the near future, plainly stated. The money in your pocket is about to gain a memory, a rule book, and in a sense, a will of its own, rules written not by you, but for you, by banks, by governments, by whoever issues the currency you depend on. Used wisely, it could end whole industries of fraud and waste, and put help exactly where it's meant to go. Used carelessly or deliberately, it could turn the simple act of spending into something that is permitted, monitored, and revocable. The technology is neutral. The choice in front of us is not. The most important question about the money of tomorrow is not how fast it moves or how clever it becomes. It is a far older question, wearing new clothes. When your money follows rules you never wrote, who wrote them, and can you ever refuse? This was Nova. Subscribe to keep receiving the signal.